Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third and final game here between MarineKing and IdrA. We are on Shakur's Plateau this time, IdrA spawning in the upper right-hand position as our red Zerg player. And then over here in the lower left-hand spot, we have got MarineKing as the blue Terran player. Yes, game number 3 here, and what a game, number 1 and 2. Last game, IdrA just performed beautifully. Spotting MarineKing was going mech heavy. He did precisely what you need to and responded by staying mobile, hitting at multiple angles, using drops and mutilis, and just completely basically taking MarineKing off guard just by being too mobile for him, essentially. The mech army is just far too slow to deal with that type of harass. Now, one thing that MarineKing should have certainly done was gotten more missile turrets. More missile turrets would have helped him a lot. I think that first drop with the roaches mopped up a lot of his missile turrets, and then after that he just didn't rebuild them, and so as such IdrA was able to abuse that fact with constant muta harass. Very, very effective again by IdrA, and also very impressive. Alright, so again we are on Shakur's Plateau, cross-positional spawn location, so this is going to make for a macro-friendly style of play, just given the sheer distance between these two players' bases. Right now we have got that first Rax building. Let's keep an eye out at 13 supply once he gets 75 minerals. Is he going to get a refinery or is he not? Looks like the answer to that question is a no. So no refinery, and again that we will be expecting a quick expansion, and that is just something MarineKing has been doing a lot of, and it's proved to be very effective. Now, first game we saw Marine Heavy follow up with that 1 Rax expand. Last game we saw a Mech Heavy follow up with that 1 Rax expand. Obviously game 1 was a much better situation for MarineKing, but that isn't so much necessarily because of the opening build order as it was just IdrA's late game play. There we go. That's all there is to say. Spawning pool coming through here for IdrA. Expansion also got dropped down there. I believe that was probably a 15 hatch, followed up by pool, of course. And let's just keep an eye on MarineKing. Orbital coming through. He should be getting probably his second depot. Landing a Rax on the low ground. And no, just moving straight into that expansion first before that second supply depot. A second supply depot will be coming after the fact. He will be formulating that wall with those barracks and maybe throwing 1 supply depot in the mix as well. Although this next depot going to be placed actually over here in this position. We've got a scouting drone moving out right now for IdrA. He will be scouting out the fact that MarineKing does have that expansion up. Unfortunately, this first Marine a little bit too late to actually prevent that drone from making it up in there. So now IdrA knows what he is up against, but that's not all. He needs to check the main. He wants to see if there's any refineries up yet, and as he will so clearly spot, no refineries at all. So he's probably expecting 2 more racks to get dropped down in just a minute. Drone trying to make his way out, but some Marine Micro is all MarineKing needed to prevent that from happening. And we're going to be expecting probably 2 racks to get placed down right now. That's what I'm going to have to assume, and there they are, 2 additional racks. So that's the follow-up if you're going to go Marine Heavy after 1 Rax expand. You get 2 more racks, and then from there it's really up to you. He could actually go more racks and try to pump out a lot of Marines, or, like we're seeing here, Delba Refinery will let him get upgrades for his bio, and then maybe go factory starport, factory tank. He's got all sorts of options from there. Still can make up his mind as to what he is going to intend on doing. Now IdrA fanning out with those Zerglings, grabbing both those Xel'Naga towers. He will have map control until we see some sort of a Marine push from MarineKing as he mounts up his forces. Back here inside of the main, we can see still no Vespian. In fact, just starting to gather that. He's only got 1 extractor. In fact, we're expecting a 3rd most likely. If he's still on 1 gas, he's nowhere near metabolic boost, so I am actually expecting IdrA to come out with a 3rd expansion sometime very soon. And here's an SCV scout checking for that very thing right now. MarineKing wanted to see if IdrA had already grabbed that. As we can see, he has not. But again, I'm expecting IdrA to sometime very soon. His metabolic boost is just so delayed. His layer is going to be so delayed as well. He's going very heavy saturation here, still on these 2 bases. You can see just droning up incredibly hard. Actually, he is now getting a 3rd extractor, so there you go. CV Scout trying to move in. That gets denied there by that Queen, plus the Zergling Queen, of course, getting the killing blow. How happy is that Queen there? 2 engineering bays. Very early 1-1 upgrades here for MarineKing. Unorthodox to say the least. We've got another Rax here going to be built, and up here is a tech lab on this Rax. Will allow for another upgrade. Might be seeing straight to combat shield unless he decides to go straight stim pack. But pretty interesting decision there. And actually, I got proven wrong here. IdrA decided to actually drop a additional, there's a 2nd and a 3rd extractor coming out, and he is still just sitting on these 2 bases. So still not comfortable moving into his 3rd yet. He does have an extra queen, though. We'll be using that for creep spread. Already got one creep tumor making its way across the map. Should be seeing another one very soon. 25 energy is all he needs, and that'll be taking place there. Taking care of the supply depot here as well. And in case you're wondering, just this variation of the map has a supply depot to prevent any block-offs. Cannon wall-ins or pylon wall-ins from a Protoss player was very frustrating as Zerg, and that's basically why they did this, to prevent that from being able to happen and allow Zerglings to get out. Because that type of harass from a Protoss opponent, pretty infuriating when you play Zerg. So as you can see, it is going to be a opening of combat shield here for MarineKing, and again, he does have that 1-1 upgrades coming through. We will be seeing a timing push. There's no doubt about that. He's probably going to be pushing out in conjunction with those upgrades finishing. He also has a third expansion coming on through as well. IdrA coming out with a macro hatch over here. Baneling Nest is up, level 1 melee upgrades going out for his ground units. Overlords prepared to do some sacrificial scouting. We got one situated over here, another one right here, checking that possible third expansion, and he could push on in with that at some point as well. What is going on? We've got a starport and a reactor factory, so we should be seeing some medevac play take place. Upgrades just about to finish, and here go the Marines. Marines now moving out across the map. IdrA will see this coming, and he'll have plenty of time to respond, but these Marines are super beefy, and this could really do a lot of damage, so let's see how effective MarineKing is going to be. We do have an attempted expansion coming down over here for IdrA. Now, will MarineKing go to that first? Yes, he will. Immediately checking the third. IdrA will be forced to cancel this. He has really got no other options. Now, he is spreading his creep, and he's got a lot of Speedlings and Banelings, but these Marines are so strong. They've got so much armor. We should expect to see some Marines splitting here. He's going to have to split up very effectively. Speedlings getting a full surround, though, and IdrA, beautiful, absolutely beautiful play there. Was able to mop up all of those Marines. He had just enough Speedlings to get us around before he lost all of them to Marine Fire, and he had more than enough Banelings to mop up a large group of that. Now, IdrA was forced to cancel that, but that could have been much worse. IdrA, that was an excellent defense by him. Beautiful, beautiful work indeed. And he had basically, well, he had more than enough to defend, but he was able to quickly and efficiently mop up that Marine push. So now, MarineKing is left with not a lot. He's got 12 Marines here at home, and he's about to deal with some Mutalisks. So this is looking pretty good right now for IdrA. Unless IdrA drops the ball or we see a very effective drop from MarineKing, then IdrA should continue to be in the dominant position. Here we go, 2 medevacs filled up with Marines. Will be making their way across the map right now. He needs to be careful to avoid Overlord scouts. It looks like he will be all set right now, though, in the position that he is moving. My concern for him, though, is a muted counterattack. Now, he's got engineering bays in play, but only a couple of missile turrets. We got one right there, and that's basically it. Yeah, he's going to need some more missile turrets because here come the Mutalisks. He's churning out those Marines. He's got 5 more just about to pop, but we've got Mutalisks on the way already. As we can see, medevacs dropping these Marines. Stim pack is done. That's going to help a lot. Here is a free supply depot. That's a danger of putting those types of buildings that far on the edge of your bases that you deal with that muta harass being that much more effective. Here come those Marines. Hatchery finished. Stim is going to drop that. Watch this right now. So effective, but here come the Speedlings and Banelings. Going to require some micros. He's going to pick them up in time. He did a pretty decent job, only losing 1 Marine there, and he killed off a lot of that hatchery's health. He didn't destroy completely, but he did a lot of damage. We got Marines dropping on the low and the high ground. Here come the Speedlings and the Mutas. Splitting them up is going to help their efficiency. He's going to end up losing everything, but still able to do some damage. He's still got 2 Marines left. Dropping those down, they're going to get quickly taken out by those Mutas. But MarineKing was able to do some damage. The question is, was it enough? MarineKing is in fact behind. He has now lost his medevacs and his Marines, and again, IdrA has been able to take care of these before taking too much loss. Yes, he lost some of that, some of the health points to that hatchery. That will make a follow-up drop by MarineKing pretty effective. MarineKing being relentless. Oh, never mind, I lied. I thought he was going to be going for another push. I was like, that's pretty ballsy, but he is instead just going to try to defend his third expansion. We've got Mutas, Speedlings, and Banelings dancing across the map right now for IdrA. IdrA looks so happy with this, and here comes a push. Moving forward to get us around. Mutas moving in. Banelings a little too far behind right now, and with some Marine Micro, MarineKing is doing actually a beautiful job of handling this. Some Baneling splash damage. That was unfortunate for MarineKing. Had he pulled away from that, he may have been okay, but losing those Marines, pretty devastating. He's got some Marines in the main, which will help out, but these SCVs down here are in a lot of danger, and there we go, dropping the Marines on the low ground. The micro of MarineKing is so impressive to watch in action. Marines stimming up. We'll be tearing through those mutas. We've got a siege tank down there. That's going to get quickly target fired down by the Mutalisk of IdrA. That was an awesome engagement to watch. Third expansion still up and safe over here for IdrA. IdrA is also working his way up into his fourth. 3-3 upgrades coming out for the infantry of MarineKing at the 14-minute mark. That is nuts. Make no doubt about it. That is a very, very hefty upgrading, very quick and efficient upgrading. Some Speedlings, though, able to walk in this giant entrance, killing off the SCV, building that. Able to do some economic damage as well. We also have some Marines moving in from this direction. Again, we'll be taking some free supply depots. MarineKing, just not enough missile turrets in the main. Game number 2 in a row in which this is going to be a problem for him. He needs to build some more missile turrets inside of his main base because he is having a hard time dealing with this Muta harass from IdrA. IdrA now waiting with some Zerglings over here just in case we see MarineKing attempt to move into a fourth at that position. Again, IdrA does have this fourth expansion up, mounting up his Speedlings and Banelings. He's keeping up production of that. Just now finally getting an infestation pit will allow him to, of course, work up to infestors, but also will allow him to work up into hive tech. Mutas continuing to dance around and try to do as much damage as possible. Clumped up, they're much better against those Marines, but still not quite exactly where he wants to be quite yet. A couple Speedlings trying to push in for another counterattack here at that third expansion. That got mopped up quickly by a couple of Marines and tanks over there. Lots and lots of Zerglings moving on across the map. IdrA has got clear map control at the moment, but watch those 3-3 upgrades finish, and we'll have to see what MarineKing pushes out with after that. These Marines shredding those mutas. However, there are enough mutas to completely work through those small numbers, so MarineKing will be forced to stim up and pull back with a few more Marines, buying lots of time here for IdrA to do more and more damage, killing off another depot before he finally pulls back. And we got some more Speedlings actually pushing on over in this direction, and those tanks have been taking care of IdrA, working through MarineKing right now, systematically just taking him apart. Speedlings doing so much damage over here. And that Muta harass, forcing MarineKing to pull back so many Marines, allowed IdrA to push on up with a lot of Zerglings and do a lot of damage here at this third expansion. More Speedlings going up in the main, doing some damage, target firing down those tanks. We got the Mutas over here prepared to hit the main again. And once more, IdrA just being all over the place has been a problem for MarineKing. And again, without proper turret placement here in his main, this Muta harass is just tearing him apart. Again, this is the second game. This is exactly what happened last game. Muta defense forcing all these Marines to push back, and then here you go. Zerglings will be hitting another position, and this is IdrA will just keep bouncing back and forth until some more turrets come into play. Speedlings unfortunately walking in all those Marines, but watch the backside of the base as the Mutas tear through the SCV count. And let's take a look here. 25 workers killed for IdrA. Again, I'll say it one more time. IdrA just systematically taking MarineKing apart because he does not have proper base defense against those Mutalisks. He really needs, I mean, look at how many minerals he has. He can invest some resources in some damn missile turrets and he would be okay. We've got a push moving out right now for MarineKing. There are a lot of Banelings coming out in the center of the map, and I'm really worried for MarineKing's force at the moment. There's a scan. He is scouting out what he is up against, stimming up his Marines, spreading out to help against those Banelings, but the Speedlings are going to be able to quickly mop up as a result of that. Banelings pulling all the way through to the back of the line, killing off most of those Marines. And here is IdrA now mopping up MarineKing's force, pushing him all the way back. Some more Speedling reinforcements coming on through. This is looking very good for IdrA right now. There are still a few Marines, and they're actually going to be tearing through IdrA's mutas. IdrA should have been pulling back with these Mutalisks, but decided to stay in, ended up losing a lot. Still, I don't think it matters. IdrA's got a dominant economic lead. He has done so much damage. Now, it does look like he's behind, but again, take a look at those workers killed, and that is why I feel like IdrA is still in a strong position. But these Marines, so effective, and we may see actually MarineKing make an effective push over here to this third expansion. I think that's where he will be hitting because he can then walk right up into the fourth. Now, it's not like there are a lot left. IdrA's got a lot of reinforcements now. Speedlings surrounding those Marines, allowing those Mutas to take him out much easier. And we got some more Marine reinforcements, a couple of Banelings rolling in, and here we go, going straight for those Marines. They get target fired down, and more Marines coming out at MarineKing. Just keeping up this Marine production. They are 3-3, fully upgraded Marines with Stimpak Combat Shield and a lot of medevac healing power, and that is scary for IdrA. And he is going to be losing this expansion, and I feel like the Marines are going to go straight over here and take out this Expo as well. And wow, fully upgraded Marines pulling MarineKing back in the game. You know, IdrA's been so effective this long, but MarineKing is clawing his way back in. Lots of Baneling damage. That was Miss Micro. Clearly, MarineKing was not paying attention to those Marines at that moment in time. IdrA calls the GG. After the hefty amount of damage that IdrA was able to do to MarineKing, I am completely baffled that he was able to claw his way back into the game with some really solid micro, constant reinforcements, and the fact that his Marines were fully upgraded. MarineKing did end up taking the game. Just unbelievable display of the power of Marines. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this third and final game in the series. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.